Hello everyone, it's Moonkin FTW here, back with another video, and welcome to episode 2 of making a smooth and realistic coaster in RCT3. Now, as you can see, we've already done the layout and a bit of the pathing. Last time we got rid of the supports. So today we're going to focus on making the supports. Now for the supports, I'm using a custom scenery, or a modern add-on, whatever you want to call it, called Moby Steel Jungle. This is, as far as I know, by far the best modern custom scenery add-on to make supports. Problem is it exists out of all these small pieces. So if you would make the supports for all these roller coasters piece by piece, you're going to spend a lot of time here. But what I did is I actually saved some pre-made custom support designs like this. So as you can see, this exists out of a bunch of pieces, and I can just copy paste this over everywhere over the coaster where it fits, and that saves me a lot of time. So from here on out, we're just going to speed up the footage, and I'm going to do exactly that. So as you can see, I'm loading up all these pre-made custom support designs to wherever they fit, and they're going to start off with the lift hill, which is pretty easy. I just go until I finally hit the highest point, and then we go down. I'm going to go ahead and check out which ones fit, so here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and continue along the roller coaster and see wherever this fits. Now this is actually something I came up recently to save all these pre-made supports, because before this I would actually spend a lot of time making these piece by piece, and at some point I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way, and time these days is very limited for me to play the game, so I invested some time to save some of these pre-made supports, and it works a lot better. So for now, for the very low pieces, I'm just going to use a single bar, or a single piece if you will, wherever it fits. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and use the most simple design for the lowest parts of the roller coaster. And I'm going to go all the way into this small photo section here, into the final small overbanked turn, into the bunny hop. And by the way, my apologies for the last episode. I said bunny hop for every like hill it had, but of course most of these are airtime hills, not bunny hops, because bunny hops are very small. So now we're going to go ahead and make the supports for the 90-degree turns. Now I had a pre-saved design, but unfortunately that didn't quite work. So what I'm going to do here is make a new one. And I'm going to do the same, so I'm going to eventually save it, and then I'm going to just copy paste it all over again wherever it fits. So I'm kind of figuring out the design here, whatever looks kind of nice, and it's never going to look 100% perfect, but this looks okay-ish for now. So I'm going to save it, and I will just go ahead and copy paste that. And as you can see, this saves actually a lot of time. I can use it for every single diagonal turn, so to say. And yeah, same ordeal here. I'm just gonna look to see what fits. So this one kind of fits almost, so I'm just going to once again make one that is a little bit suited a little bit better. Again, this might have been useful for the extended coaster, but the pre-saved design might have not worked for this particular coaster, like the Giga coaster. So this unfortunately doesn't work. So we're gonna once again save and just copy paste it once again. As you can see, this works just so much faster than doing every single one piece by piece. So there we go. We already got a decent amount of stuff done. I'm gonna make one final one here that didn't quite fit in well, so we're just gonna make that or custom make it. And as you can see, if I'm doing one, you can see just how many individual pieces I have to place. So if I would do this for every single one, we would just spend so much time doing it. So now it's time to figure out the supports for the overbanked turn, which is not really that easy, if you will. There's a lot of fidgeting around. You can see I have some pre-made designs, but they don't always work. So some of them kind of work here, so I'm just going to use whatever I have, and I'm just going to save and then place it again and see if it actually works. This actually works quite well, so that's nice. And then this one right here, I'm trying to maybe adjust it a little bit more, because as you can see, probably comes up a little bit later now, but they don't fit quite well. These actually are very nice. So because there's only 4 of them, I'm like, okay, I'll just go ahead and just make them individually, if you will. And I'm looking at this one exactly, and I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know, it's sitting a little bit too low. And as you can see, the one that's slightly more up fits way better. So I'm actually going to just make this one and add the footers, then the diagonal bar. So this is now done. So now I can actually use this one for the rest of the roller coaster, because there's a bunch of them left. Now I'm going to put that there, and it does go over the path, but that's okay. The path layout was just kind of a rough estimate, and if it needs to be adjusted to kind of fit the roller coaster or the supports, I will change it. So here, this kind of design kind of works, but again, because this is a slightly different, this is a smaller overbanked turn, I once again have to kind of figure out what works. So I'm first thinking about this, and actually that actually does look quite good. So there we go. So for now, we've actually already done a decent amount. It's just a bit of the final pieces, but the general layout for the custom supports is mostly done. So we're gonna make one final overbank turn here, because just these two for this overbank turn is a little bit too small, if you will. So I'm gonna see if I can make one that's a little bit better. I'm gonna use a slightly more slanted one, I think, but actually this actually looks okay, so we're just gonna use that. So from here on out, I'm just gonna go over all of the remaining supports and place the footers to make it look, of course, more realistic. And yeah, it's slowly but surely starting to come together, if you will. And this already looks miles better. And in a bit, I will show you what it looked like before we started. So with the standard supports, if you will, and what it looks like now. But for now, we're just going over every little support and also seeing where there's still some space left. So that one, for instance, I'm just going to make sure all the supports connect to the actual roller coaster. Because if there's, space in between the track and the supports, it looks a bit ridiculous. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that everything touches the roller coaster, the track properly. So that really works. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and place some final footers, going over everything. And yeah, that looks quite nicely. So now I'm gonna just adjust the path to make sure it doesn't go against the custom support. So that is now fixed. And yeah, it looks quite nice, if you ask me. So up next, what we're going to do is add a catwalks, both for the brake section and also for the lift hill, because that's what you see on coasters in real life. So again, trying to make it realistic, so it's not just a track that we want to make smooth. We also want to make the scenery around the roller coaster as realistic as possible. So here we're just going to go ahead and make the catwalk on the lift wheel all the way up. And it's gonna go up and up and up, and that will be pretty much the end of this episode. And yeah, it looks quite nice. It's actually very nice. I'm really happy with the way it turns out. And if you compare it to what we started with, this is what it looked like before we started, and now it looks like this. I mean, it is miles better, and it looks amazing. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And yeah, that's mostly it for now. This still took a decent amount of work, but as you can see, by saving some designs and using, copy pasting it over and over again, you really can save yourself a lot of time. So that is definitely what I would recommend you do if if there's people still out there playing RCT3 and you're using something like Moby's Steel Jungle or even any other type of scenery. You can just use that copy paste addition to the game to really save yourself a lot of time. So there you go, guys. That's episode 2 done. Liking the way it looks, and in the next episode we'll work on the surroundings. But for now, thanks for watching.